And good luck.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to SGLIVE. Next up, we've got. God, actually, I don't know the name. No one gave me that.
Noraystra.
Okay, I'm Troy Batson. Clinton. What we're saying the game was called?
I am having a little bit of trouble hearing you right now.
Can you not hear me?
Just barely. We can hear you a little bit more now.
Okay. So I'm here.
Hi, here I'm Trenton.
Yeah, welcome back to SGLIVE. Yeah. Next up, we got this game. I actually was not told what game we're doing, but here we are.
Well,
This is going to be Breath of Fire 1 DeeJ%.
DeeJ%. Why don't you explain to us what that means?
So, DeeJ% is a debug code that was discovered, and if we are good, I'll go ahead and start doing that debug code right now. So to activate it, you hold A, Y, L, and R on a second controller as you go into the title screen, and then you press up 4 times on the directional pad for controller 1, right 2 times, down 8, and then left. If you do this correctly, your screen will turn red. Once you do that, you enter the code, DeeJ, and you will go through your normal stuff, setting up your sound options and everything, and you'll get a new save file that says DeeJ. You'll start at level 29. Time starts once you press the A button to start. So are we ready?
I'm ready. Is Troy ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
All right, let me get rid of that notepad.
Chad, are you ready? We need some hype. Come on, this is Breath of Fire. Great RPG.
All right, so we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, as you can see, we start at the end of the game. So the first thing we are going to do is walk into the final dungeon areas, and we just got to talk to a few things here.
There is a lot of fetch questing going on, as is tradition of your old school RPGs and new school RPGs, and now just basically all video games. They love their fetch quests.
They really do. So we'll go there. We hit the parts thing. We'll come back to that in a minute. Now we need to fly up to a city that we visited. None of this is going to make any sense if you haven't played the game, but we don't really follow the plot. We just go beat the bosses here, so we really don't care about the plot.
He basically starts at the end with all levels, all skills, all spells, everything you could ask for. Now, there's a couple of very significant things about this town. It's a town whose language is musical instruments. So you come here the first time, and you cannot speak to anyone.
You also blow this section up. We're not going to bother. We just got to come in here, and we need to pick up a fishing rod. A very specific fishing rod. This is the Rod 5. This allows us to do some fishing, which we're going to take care of first. And we'll go down this one.
There's a lot of fishing as part of this game, but they designed it to be progressive so that even though some of the areas you would have access to, others they blocked where you would need characters to be able to get into them because of various overworld skills. But they locked a lot of the really elite treasure behind a minimum level of the rod, which you couldn't get till late. Yep. So he's now got the highest level one. He's able to go around fishing and get anything there is to get.
Yep. So we're going to take a quick stop in here. We got to do a little bit of purchasing. We'll do one more shopping trip later. But for right now, we need to buy these things called Marble Ones. We need 12 of them. And I lost count already.
These are significant for doing guaranteed critical attack, which, as you can imagine, is fairly significant.
And then we also need to buy some worms. We usually buy 3. I'm going to check my inventory really quick because I already messed this up. No, there is not a randomizer. I see the question in chat there. There's not a randomizer in there. We have talked about a randomizer. We've talked about some various things, but Capcom did some interesting stuff with this game, which we'll discuss in a minute. Some of that being everything's hard-gated behind everything.
Basic plot of the game, the Dark Dragon clan decided, hey, we should rule the world. You know, as villains do. And so we are fighting to avenge our fallen comrades, save the day, defeat the darkness dragons, etc., etc.
And save our sister, which we'll get to that plot point in a minute. There's going to be a lot of we'll get to that plot point in a minute. There, like I said, there are a lot of plot points. Where'd my fishing rod go? Why is it? Oh, there it is. That's weird. It's not supposed to go there.
Right next to your Earth Key.
Oh, right. There's another wonderful item that we have that we don't use, but it's a fantastic thing. So we are going to come here. We're going to fish up the dragon helmet. And then we are going to take a little trip. Our first warp here. We're going to warp to spring now.
Dragon helmet may not be a sombrero, but it's a pretty good hat.
There is a... Well, there's a sun hat in here. I think it's a sombrero. No one's really... Yeah. Alright, so we're back in spring. Those parts that we talked about, we went and touched the elevator. It didn't really work. Well, that's because this guy came up here and he broke the elevator.
Logical thing to do.
How do you figure out...
He probably stole the paper clips out of the office supplies, too.
Oh, absolutely. And how do you figure out he did this? I don't remember. But, yeah, there's no real... There's a plot trigger in the game that tells you that it exists, but yeah. Alright, and also, apparently the hero, you know, if you've done, like, Dragon Quest, or you've seen that, the hero just left his armor around, this time in a pond. So this is the hero prior to us, who gathered his 7 friends, and then went on to fight the goddess the first time, which is where we are now. So this is the second fight. So we're going to come up here. We've got to do a little more fishing. We'll pick this one up.
So like this well in particular, you could not access without Nina's bird form being unlocked. So this is part of how they locked out the progression, was they forced you to get the class upgrades first.
Yeah, very, very much plot gated. There it is. I keep missing that well for some reason. All right, we've done all of our fishing.
There is a benefit to doing all of this, by the way, but that's going to be forthcoming in a little bit. But one of the things to note is Ryu, who's the hero of this game, is descended from the Light Dragon clan, and so he has dragon powers, as you do.
Well, we don't have them yet.
We are going to be unlocking his dragon heritage and allowing him to do dragon-related things.
All right, so we're going to go back to the first town in the city. More than anything, I just wanted to not fly because I'm tired of flying. The menuing is a little clunky with the flying route, but it's faster. So we're going to go over and we're going to unlock that first dragon. So...
Warp is more accurate anyways.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, or if you've ever played the game... If you've ever played the game, you'll remember that you blow up the robot here, or the robot blows itself up after you fight the gremlin. It's about an hour into the game, in the speed game, or speed run, and then you walk in here and you fight Talon, who... It's a long fight. It's a pretty decent fight. Yeah. This is over.
Well, of course, this was an early game fight, and here we are at level 29, which is probably about 19 levels higher than you would be.
Yeah. So, this fight's just over. And
Chad asks if Ryu and Nina are in every game. I believe there is a Ryu and a Nina in every game.
Breath of Fire 2 connects to Breath of Fire 3 in some ways. They reference that the final boss is part of the goddess from the first game. There's some other allusions, but they don't really come out. Like Nina's grandmother is in the game, or Nina's grandmother is this Nina, but they don't really connect much more than that. Breath of Fire 3 actually shows the final battle that we'll get to here in a minute in the opening credit rolls.
Karn and Bo also make a cameo appearance in Breath of Fire 2.
They do. And then in Breath of Fire 4, Nina and Ryu are both there, and as well as 5.
Actually,
Well,
had a
we
question of my
were
own.
discovering some meant-to-be pen pals, if you go back far enough for that. This is before we had internet message boards and Discord to hang out with. There were pen pals. So we're going to connect a couple of pen pals here with our ability to turn into a giant bird and transport messages back and forth.
And this is a good time, Troy, if you've got any incentives or anything you want to hit. We've got a little bit of time as we go raid these people's bedrooms for a list and some other stuff.
All right. Yeah, we do have a couple donations here. We got $20 from Stephen Tackett, who says, would love to see this go towards the Aria of Sorrow randomizer. So yeah, that is one of the tournaments actually is already confirmed for next year, so going towards that prize pool. And or the MM3 DOS CGA incentive. So Mega Man 3 DOS, if you're not familiar with those DOS games, those are crazy.
They are.
And so yeah, that's 20 out of 50 for that one. Do I still have more time?
Oh yeah, you've got another 5 minutes or so.
All right. So yeah, also we got I'm probably gonna butcher this name here, but Zytoriak donated $12 buying one of those shirts for SGLIVE 2020. And then finally, we've got. I was just gonna go over some of the incentives that we have coming up, because we do also have Resident Evil 7 is the next thing on the schedule after this, and there is a bonus run as well that they're looking to get done. The DLC, the Not a Hero DLC, is a bonus incentive for that run.
Nice.
Let me throw in real fast that they're both weapons collectors, so the woman wanted the man to identify the weapon. He tells her that it's not a weapon. She says, oh, you can just keep it, and it's a valuable plot item for us. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah.
I actually had a final thing is actually a question for you guys.
Okay.
Because I'm curious now. I noticed a lot of RPGs typically use the Japanese release. So why are we in English here?
So the Japanese release is actually slower, I believe, if I remember correctly. Plus, most of us just can't read it. There's a lot. The game is a 6-hour slog, and it's just not as much fun to play. And I just missed my flight point.
That's interesting. Usually the Japanese release is faster for a lot of RPGs.
Usually it is.
Usually that's the case because of the text speed, and you can fit more text in Japanese than you can English. But the text goes pretty fast in this version. Square is usually a little slow with how it draws the text.
I missed my flight marker. The nice thing is Nina has warp, so if we miss our flight marker, we just land and we fix it. So continuing
You fix
on,
it with your Wizard?
well, we're not fixing the Wizard. We've already got the Wizard. That's not broken, but we did have some
I asked
broken
if you
parts.
fixed it with your Wizard.
Yeah.
Not if you fix the Wizard.
Well, no, but we've got some broken parts for the elevator that we need fixed. So yeah, let's come up here and fix them. So she's gonna wake him in the most.
I'm sure
rude
you've
way
never been
possible.
woken up like that.
Yeah,
So this guy owes us a favor because we saved his town.
pretty much.
Very heroically. I'm sure we were all moved back then.
Yeah. This is about halfway. We saved the town about halfway through the game. That's about the part where this event happens. Again, plot doesn't matter here. We're just on a boss rush. But so now that we've done that, we are going to head towards our second dragon shrine and our first use of dragons and the marble wands.
Oh yeah, he can turn into a dragon now.
Yes, that that was something we just did. There's the Dragon Shrine. Alright, so the game does require those dragon armors to start after this dragon. You have to have the dragon armors to proceed with the dragon plot of becoming the ultimate dragon. So we'll continue on that. One party adjustment we've got to make. Oh, that one. We want to be on the back row.
So is a dragon attack considered a magic attack?
So, yes and no. The game is really weirdly coded. And that's an understatement here.
Yeah, well, if I'm recalling correctly, the elements don't actually matter, or is that
They
Breathfire
do. They do matter, but the element, all of the damage is fixed for the dragon. So there's no RNG here. I know how much damage I'm going to do. A slam will do 260, and that's a crit. It will do 260 damage every time. And so your base damage is 130, so it's just a double. So we'll use a
they
fire
use
dragon.
marbles to guarantee that damage
Correct.
as opposed to RNG of just attacking.
Yeah, if you watch the TAS of this, it's incredible. The game runs on frame-based RNG, so it's running at 60 frames, so good luck doing the TAS strats. It doesn't work. But still, the boss is free.
And you probably could just auto it given your level and stuff, but there's also the minor fact that this is faster.
It's faster. It's just faster. And safer, too. You could auto it, but you'd have to cure, and curing takes time. I wanted to take a drink there, but I walked too fast. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit more. We're kind of doing just bits and pieces of all these side quests all at once. Because of routing, it's just faster to hit bits and pieces and then do other bits and pieces.
Probably a good time to mention that throughout the game there is this shadowy figure who constantly tells you to do a thing in order to make progress and go where you need to, that kind of thing.
Well, let's
All
go talk
sorts
to
of
that
good
shadowy
place.
figure, because that's who we're going to go see right now. It's part of the
You
routing.
think I was bringing it up? I was explaining who it was before we talked to them, so it would make sense.
Yes, so we have that shadowy figure. He'll reveal his true identity in a little bit, but yeah, he drops hints along the way that he's just being a good guy and helping us.
What year does this game take place in?
Yes.
Why are there elevators? I thought this was medieval or something.
Well, it was released in 1993, but I think this is...
They don't really...
is this the only mechanical thing that actually happens? Well, the robot happens,
The
too.
robot
That's
happens.
half mechanical, half magic.
Yeah. More than
Half
anything,
robot.
the game just doesn't make a lot of sense half the time, and you know what? That's charming about it.
Yeah, it's fine. That's retro games.
So here is our shadowy figure. He's going to tell us to go pick up an item.
And that item is the D Heart, which you got a hint about what it is early in this game if you went around talking to NPCs. Of course, no one does that, but given the fact he tells you what town to go to, that kind of narrows it down.
This is where we warped Drogon. Alright, so we're going to go back again to the starting town. We have to buy a specific item here. And it is the Marble 3. So unlike the Marble 1, which guarantees us a slam, the Marble 3 means we will not see an enemy encounter. And it goes for 127 steps. And we need a few of these.
And unfortunately, we have to buy these as singles. You can see that where multiples are involved, it would let you buy it in stacks of 9. But, good things come to us from a little bit of patience. Cures, of course, to help with HP.
Yeah,
Kind of important occasionally.
Those will be important. Alright. So now we're going to head to the third Dragon Shrine, which is up here. A little ways. We kind of passed it earlier. So we're going to use our second dragon form, but we will never use our third dragon form that we get. You'll never see it. Just not going to happen.
Do you need to heal here?
No.
Okay.
The hero starts off... The damage to the dragon does not carry over to the hero.
I didn't think you had healed from the last shrine, and you had mentioned wanting to drink the water, so it's just...
No, I wanted a drink of my own drink in front of me. Alright, so here we do use the fire dragon. This bird, avian, is weak to fire. So he does take a little bit more damage. And then again, same strat as before. We're just going to Marble 1 him down. This will be the last boss we Marble 1 down.
So this thing is basically half ostrich, half unicorn, half dragon?
Yes.
As long as we're all on the same page.
It's a thing. And it's angry and it wants us dead. And as long as it doesn't crit us, we'll kill it without having to heal. If it crits us, we'll have to heal.
Chad would like to know how you're so far ahead, and this is DeeJ%, just to kind of reintroduce it. It is effectively a debug mode that was discovered, and you start very late game with a whole lot of stuff. You do have to go back and clean up and do a few quests to be able to complete the game, and that is what we're working on now.
A little concerned. This kill will win it, but I'm a little concerned about my HP. We'll roll it. Yeah, that's a win. We'll take it.
GG.
Alright, so now we start the... That's really the first half of the run. It's all the gather stuff and get stuff done. So we've got to do one more piece of work. We have to go get the final dragon. And so to get that, we go back to a place that we basically were at the start of the game. Very start of the game. And we walk into a well that we've already been into. Because plot reasons we couldn't do it earlier.
We didn't have Gobi earlier.
No, it wasn't Gobi. I don't actually know what the plot reason was. I think it was the dragon.
The gills.
No, you don't need the gills, ironically enough, to do it. It's just not there. Like, the door's just not there when we come in the first time. Alright. We need the marble 3s up here.
I will look this up later and find out that I was right and you disagreed with me. I can mock you about that for the rest of the year.
I'm sure you will. Alright, so this is our first use of marble 1s. Again, the whole purpose of the... Or marble 3s, sorry. The whole purpose is this puts out a fog, get 127 steps, and we can just walk freely. There are no random encounters. There are no random encounters in the base speedrun, the full game, except for the very first boss. We need one random encounter to get one level. Otherwise, we can't beat him. We've tried it in the tasks, and there's just no mathematical way to beat him. It's really...
I imagine after that, you get pretty good use out of the Earth Key for a little bit.
Yeah. I want to say I took the wrong
Earth Key
path.
is very overpowered in the early game.
For Nina, it is. I'm just walking off some extra steps to get the timer right. So, every time you hit 127 stuff, or steps, you pop off a text menu. If you menu properly, which most of us don't do because we can't count the steps as well as we should, you avoid the menu pop up and you just get the extra steps.
Chad
that's right. That is right. Your chat is right there. The trigger for the event. You walk in here and it sends you back to the start.
Yeah, but you can't go underwater till you have the gills.
It's been forever since I've triggered that plot point.
Chad also asks if there was any hint about this being here.
There is.
I recall it being very vague, but there is.
You have to fish it out of one of the wells. Alright, so there is Angie.
And you do not have to do a fight for it, so
Nope,
that's nice.
That one is free.
It's like someone actually wants you to save the world and is willing to help you do it instead of, oh, maybe I'll help you save the world if it's convenient for me.
Yep, pretty much. Alright, so we've got one more warp and one more item to pick up, we are headed back to Toonland, where we started. Because we need to get that dragon heart.
It's early in the game, you would have gotten an item called a water jar that's used to cure zombies, but then after that, it's the best one-use healing item in the game. It's single-use, but it's the best healing item in the game.
It's refillable.
Yes, but it's single-use at a time.
Yes.
You have to go back there every time you want to fill it.
And the good news is that is one of our safety strats. Because we have it in our inventory and it has a use. So
this town of music says, I don't know about an ultimate weapon, but I have a dragon song. So we're going to listen to the dragon song, because we're only a dragon and nothing could possibly go wrong with that.
Yeah. Yes, put the song in a bottle.
If
for
I
purpose,
could save songs in a bottle...
Normally we wouldn't menu here, but to show what the song does, it reduced me to 1 HP.
And it will have that effect against any dragon that you choose.
Which is funny, because in a game about dragons, where the clan is the Dark Dragons, and you're fighting the Dark Dragons, we fight a grand total of 2 dragons in the entire game.
Well, technically speaking, more of them are dragons. They don't transform or anything.
No, they transform into octopi and...
well, I'm talking about the random dudes. Like, if you actually watched the intro credits to your own game, you would see several.
The intro credits, they show them.
So I'm saying a lot of these random dudes are dragons. They just don't transform.
Yeah, no, so... But as far as bosses and regular enemies go, yeah, we fight a grand total of 2 dragons in this game. It's really random.
There's shrines. A couple of those. One of those is dragon.
Well, we're going to face the first one.
Yep, back up the medieval elevators.
Yep. Good thing is this is the last trip up the medieval elevators.
Clearly they weren't very good in their elevator technology, and that you had to get off the one and start the other.
Well, you know, if you wanted to get onto the second floor, you know, you have to leave. Alright, so our mysterious man's gone. You may be wondering, I'm not using my Marble 3s here. There are no encounters on this floor. Why there are no encounters on this floor, we have no idea.
Yes.
So we just ignore that fact and we can just continue walking through. I don't know why the big bad of the game would not cover his first floor with enemies, but whatever. Second floor on the other hand.
You had to have a pass just to get in here, and no game have you ever been able to get a pass that you weren't intended to.
Yeah.
A bit of a maze section here. You have to navigate these gates correctly. Of course, not that hard when you already know what to do.
I mean, navigate the gates correctly is yeah. You just
depending on if you want treasure and stuff.
Yes, there are a couple of decent items in here. Nothing really game-breaking or anything that we want, because, well, when we face off with Zog here in a minute, we'll show you what we mean by we don't really need any of that.
For comparison's sake, do you know in a normal any % run what level you'd be here?
I'd have to go pull one of my old VODs for that. I want to say it's not that high. Again, level doesn't matter at this point of the game, is the big deal.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to draw some contrast in the fact that they give you level 29, and I was figuring you probably weren't even 20.
I want to say we beat the game at 20. I want to say that's about right.
See, that's what I'm looking for. A little compare and contrast.
Yeah, we beat the biggest one is Nina's the only one that we actually ever care about level for because of when she learns warp. So yeah, if you're looking for a faster way to play
this, will there be a war mech?
No war mechs here. There will be a Zog. But for those of you who are interested in a faster version of this game, the Game Boy Advanced version, while the audio is a thing and so is the graphics, it has auto-run. Alright. So DeeJ is injured, but turning into a big bad dragon heals you back to full health.
As is tradition.
So Engi is a fusion of all of your party. So
Fusions, by the way, are very much a part of this. They're based off Karn's power set, but they unlock various things throughout the normal run of the game. So you're very used to the idea of a fusion before you ever get this dragon form.
Yep. And then we hit the auto battle button and we just hold the controller and laugh.
Yeah, you're kind of wrecking him here.
Yeah. Engi is an automatic 999 damage, has 999 HP, and has a defense that's pretty silly.
Will slam, but slam is just the exact same damage.
Slams are actually bad. They're slower. And for Zog here, we want to see snoot boops. We want him to boop us with a snoot like that. That's the fastest attack he has. Most of this run is boss RNG on attacks. I've lost in our first run, marathon run of this. I raced the world record holder, and I lost 2 minutes to him in just boss RNG. We were even going into this area. Lost 2 minutes to Zog alone.
Well, that's clearly a GG. We beat the boss. Wait, what's this?
Yeah, second win's a thing. So
honestly, I didn't mind that so
Sorry.
much as not
Hey,
knowing how
Wes.
much HP they had left.
almost all of the bosses have a second wind.
Yeah, that's the first time we're seeing it because the dragon shrines in particular do
Are-
not.
right.
That's actually the exception instead of the rule.
Yeah, the dragon shrines and the wisps do not. All the other bosses do. It's really an annoying feature, but it brought some charm. Breath of Fire 2 memes it a little bit with the roach fight early on, but that meme goes a little bit far if you're speedrunning that game, because it's a random chance. It can randomly get back up, and it can do it a random number of times. There's no set... It has a second... No, it can just keep going. It's the most obnoxious fight in a speedrun.
If you speedrun Breath of Fire 2, you have inflicted all of that upon yourself, I'm just saying.
Yes. The first hour's the only bad part about that game. After the first hour, it's pretty okay. That first hour's a nightmare, though.
Zog, by the way, is the one who is trying to take over the world.
Yeah. So we're fighting the final boss right now. 29 minutes in.
In particular, he was trying to release a dark goddess to grant him more power, yada yada, steal the goddess keys to unlock her from her seal. We have all those keys right now in our inventory from questing around, saving towns, the usual RPG thing.
Yep. Saved a few towns, blew up a few boats, unleashed a typhoon bug, turned a demon back into a human. Trying to think of what else we've done. We saved a king from being poisoned.
Time.
Yeah, with time. Yeah, we did some time shenanigans. We did some season shenanigans too.
Hey, it's our sister from the beginning of the game that we totally saw.
Who?
The one with the blue hair.
Oh yeah, her.
And she's going to ask us to let her hold all the keys for safekeeping, because obviously we're just the ones who defeated the enemy. There's nothing that could go wrong with that.
She's your sister, right? Yeah, hand her the keys. You're fine. Yeah, give her the keys. This should go fine. Absolutely fine. Nothing bad could happen here.
I see nothing wrong with the situation.
Anything you want to promote real fast?
Currently, no. I mean, I do have, no new donations yet, but I do have the incentives that I was referring to before. As I said, we got that Resident Evil 7 run coming up, and their DLC bonus run there, which is not even, has, it's $50 to get it met, and still at 0 right now, so help that get in there so that we can see more Resident Evil 7 after the Resident Evil 7 that happens.
Oh my
And a
goodness.
shocker of shockers, it turns out the shadowy figure was actually Jade, who was one of the lead generals, and has control of Sarah somehow.
Yeah.
So all those keys got stolen from us, and they now have the power to unlock the Dark Goddess to destroy the world.
Oh, who would have
Nothing
guessed
major.
that coming? Yeah, who would have seen that coming? No one. No. No way you could have fallen for that.
These are the moles, by the way.
Yeah.
One of them is in our party.
Yeah, he's in our party because we went into his subconscious and found his bravery and merged all of his emotions. And there's a spinny maze in there. I don't like to talk about the spinny maze, but it's in there too. Just trust me.
And you fight a giant moth.
Yes, not when you fight a giant moth. Oh, the spinny maze is in the other guy's dream. That's right. The moth has the tower that disappears and reappears as you walk through it. Also
Yes.
annoying in every way possible.
Pretty much. It's a push with Spinny Mace. Also, our mole learned how to do a thing.
Not yet. He hasn't learned that yet. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. I thought that's what he was demonstrating there.
Nope, that's where we're headed next, though.
Hey,
I am
look, a
I am
vintage
a-
medieval elevator.
Yeah, it's vintage.
Very vintage.
All right, we gotta do this in the right order. Put Mogu in.
You know, technically, there's many things from 1990 that classify as antiques now. Did I just make you feel old?
Well, seeing as FF9 just became 20 years old, yes, I feel old.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page.
Yeah. My menuing is toast today, but so now we are going to go learn how to use that Wizit, which is an Iron Claw. We put Mogu in the front here. The only use for Mogu in this entire game is literally to use this item.
Any
Has-
part of the fusion if you're doing...
I
like,
mean, yes, but we don't even. There's not a speed run that uses that fusion. It's faster to take one of the earlier ones.
Okay, I buy that. Yeah, he's...
Absolutely. We get him so late.
100% of this game, you will be annoyed at him.
You get him so late that he is useless.
And just his quest makes you not like him.
Eh,
Question in chat, does this game have a bow? I don't know, we haven't found one yet.
it does. He's right here. We're gonna put him in our party just for that. We'll replace Mogu because Mogu's useless.
Oh, hey, you found a bow.
We need Nina in the front, just for that. And we are going to go to Romero, which is back this way because all this world is right next to each other.
Yeah, a lot of this is very close to each other, and several of these places you actually come back to multiple times. You have access to this part of it very early on, but
Like,
that
this
doesn't
is
mean
the
you can actually do anything yet.
This is like the first real dungeon that you face. Gilliam is the. And we're going to switch Karn to the lead here. The first time you come up here, you don't have him. You have a party of Nina, Ryu, and Bo. You climb up the tower to get the key. With Karn, we're going to climb up the tower to unlock the locks and... Normally we would steal some valuable loot, but honestly there's nothing of value in here at this point. We have the best stuff that we could want. There is a good armor and a good dagger up here, but at this point in the game, Angie goes burr.
And there's a couple of dungeons that have this style of mechanic where if you come back through with a different character, you can cut considerable time off of going through it. One, it gives the characters a sense of purpose, and it makes it not exactly the same tedious path through a dungeon that you had to go the last time. So there's a few characters who do that for you.
It's still a tedious path, but it's just a different tedious path.
Well, the early part is a less tedious path. Because
Well, and all of the enemies in here
you
are...
get to skip the D-pad movement.
All of the enemies in here are low level, so you definitely want to stop them. Sarah has snapped out of her mind control. We'll see how long.
That's exactly what a sane person who's not under mind control would say.
Yeah, and Jade has released the goddess.
Nothing could possibly go wrong with that, right?
No, but lightning strikes the tower. We're not sure how that happens, but whatever. The tower comes out of the ground. If you were to go behind the tower right now, you would be able to pick up a tri-ray, the strongest boomerang in the game. I don't care.
I don't think you even have to wait for the tower to raise, if I'm recalling correctly. I think you just have to have bird form and you can go pick that up.
Yeah, I don't remember if it has to be raised or not. It's been forever.
Welcome, people who were watching stuff on SG3. Now you're watching stuff on SG2, and this is Nora playing Breath of Fire DeeJ %. And
Alright.
we are pretty deep into the run so far.
We're about halfway through the run. We've got 4 bosses to go. Yeah, we skipped the armor. The life armor's useless. We've got Angie. Angie goes burr again. This is actually the only fight here that we're coming up where we won't use Angie. After we've gotten it. Obviously, the first ones we didn't have Angie.
That would have made things too easy.
It would have. Now here is the stair or the door maze that we actually have to know where we're going, otherwise we get lost.
You can always get lost in this game if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
The era of information density, and it was very much a thing, and you probably didn't read the guide that came with the game anyways.
No, you bought the strategy guide and beat it with that. Because that's the only way to... That was the only way to beat this game at the time, was really... You had to get the strategy guide. The game made no sense. I know 7-year-old me struggled with this game. So what is special
Question in
about
chat.
DeeJ
What's so
percent?
special about DeeJ percent?
Yeah, definitely.
He started with all characters. They were all at level 29. They all had all their spells and all of their skills unlocked. And he's just been running around since then to do the elements necessary to get this far. Hey, it's Sarah again.
Yeah, this won't go bad. I'm pretty sure there aren't any encounters in this room, so I'm totally safe in here. She's trying to break free of the mind control and let us go on our way. So apparently he's not a very good spellcaster because the spell breaks. She got to say one last thing. Well, we're going to stop him. Well, oh great.
Maybe he's better at casting these things than you think.
Alright, well... So we were told to use this on Zog, but we're going to use it on Sarah because, well... Uh-oh. Whoopsie.
Were you not supposed to have... Yeah.
No, I need Mogu here. Alright, now we can do this. It's a speed thing.
Does he go last?
He goes second. So Karn goes first, Mogu goes second, because everyone's at 1 HP. And so we really want the song to go off. That's what I get for trying to counter a meme. I get punished for it.
So it's a question of Mogi is guaranteed to go before Sarah?
Correct. Mogu will always go before Sarah and immediately kill her.
Because she has 1 HP.
Yes, and she does not have a second wind, so she's one of the other bosses that doesn't have that little annoying mechanic.
Well, she's a dragon.
Yes. Yes, your sister is a dragon.
Although I guess Nog was a dragon too.
Yes.
Just a dark red dragon.
Alright. Yeah, I don't have a second wind as much as I would like one. Notice I haven't healed my party. I really don't care.
Well, you got a full heal right there. That's spraying.
I do, but again, really don't care. The game is just giving enough. I also don't care what's in there. It's one of the best daggers in the game as well, like second best or third. Don't care. Don't need it. Just walking by.
You sound very apathetic today. It's quite the I don't care attitude. So this is a place that's annoying because stuff disappears. Every time he steps on a blue circle, the walkway's going to disappear. He steps on an orange, red, burgundy, whatever you care to call it, circle, and it reappears.
Yep. We don't step on any of them in this place that makes them disappear. No, even in the normal speedrun, we don't pick that chest up. It's just, at that point, we've got Angie, and we just really don't care.
You have blown chat's mind that Mogu has a use.
You know, I forgot about that he has a use, and I need to go back and see if he's absolutely useless and if I can put someone else in that slot that can handle the job. But I haven't routed this in a while.
This
I guess
path
it's the
is
question
so
of
windy
you
for
want
no reason.
you want
It's
Karn
padding.
because he's guaranteed to go first, and then you just need somebody who's guaranteed to go after Karn and before Sarah.
Yep, that's the goal. As long as you have that. But yeah, no. This game has long windy path syndrome, extra padding, and just lots of twists and turns for twist and turns sake. The final room, we use 3 marbles, so think about that. It's 127 steps every time we use it. We use 3 of them, and we just wander around the room.
Kiki, he only has 1 HP. Is this fine? I need your official ruling on that.
This is fine.
I need Kiki's official ruling on it. It's not official otherwise.
Chat is
Here's
fine.
Jade again.
Yep. Hi, Jade. How are you doing? I would joke that my black cat, wherever she is, she likes to hop up here when I'm streaming. She's named Jade, not for the boss, but she was named Jade before we got her.
Well,
But
maybe
she-
she was still named for the boss. You don't
But
know.
she's just as evil.
Maybe she was named Jade.
So the tower blows up, and we go back to our hometown.
Yeah, we woke up from a coma like 3 days later or something to that
Yeah.
effect. We were also nowhere near the hometown, by the way.
No, we weren't.
Plot's happening. Do you want to promo anything? What's up next?
Next game would be the Resident Evil 7 run. I did actually want to mention, I saw people in chat, seems we might have some Secret of Mana fans in here, and there is a Secret of Mana run happening tomorrow morning.
I heard that solo character with Yagamov. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, there is an incentive for true solo mode as well, along with the usual bid wars for characters and character names.
I heard something about a sombrero incentive too. Not for that game, just in general. I heard something about a sombrero incentive.
Yeah, I saw that in the Discord, but I'm not finding anything of that in the
Chad, if
incentive
anyone
list.
wants to share an update on the sombrero incentive, that'll be welcomed. But otherwise, yeah.
Maybe it's like a side incentive that just the runner is doing or something. I don't know.
That's fair.
So we are going to take a slight detour. Normally you'd head off to the final boss right now. But we are going to take a slight detour because, 1, I'm running behind just a little bit, and 2, I don't feel like getting just absolutely owned. The final boss has a spell called Shock, or not the... I say final boss. Jade has a spell called Shock, and it's shocking. It will one-shot you. And so the Star Shield...
We're against that.
What was that?
We're against that. We don't want that to happen.
We are absolutely against it. Now, normally, if you were on world record pace or you were running for a world record situation, we're going to put Bo in the party just for the meme there now that we don't need him. And we're going to go into what is called Pagoda.
Because naturally, this looks exactly like a pagoda.
Yeah. So we'll do our last character swap of the entire game. Because we do have to put Mogu in front to do his one useful trick.
And this is what the iClaw chain was required for. That's what the pen pals were way back when we started this run. That was so long ago, I could understand people not keeping it all straight, so I wanted to go back to that.
Yeah, it was so long ago that I forgot it was a thing. So we're in Pagoda again, more maze padding. We're gonna walk around here. We're gonna find a guy named Goda because we're in Pagoda and whatever.
Also, apparently, there's a chance you can softlock right around here.
Not that I'm aware of. The only softlock I know is on the final boss, and I've yet to see it in whatever 93. So I've been playing this since it came. I've yet to see the softlock. Do the math. I'm old.
I'm not going to do math. I'm live on Twitch. It would betray me.
And I'm not going to route right, apparently, because I keep doing that.
Chat says it's the obelisk.
No, Obelisk was the prior one. This is the final actual dungeon.
Are those actual, like, Japanese characters? Do they mean anything, or are they just shapes?
I think they're just shapes. They're padding at this point.
Well, I mean, like, this one just looks like a random shape, but that last one...
It's a random shape. Alright, so we are closing in on the final part of the boss gauntlet here. There's this big, scary dude. And he's gonna taunt us.
Well, that's the kind of thing big, scary dudes do.
Yeah.
And then he runs away.
Because, of course, he does. Now, this is a Capcom game. Yep. Where did he go? I don't even know. How did he do that? I don't know. But this is a Capcom game, and well, for you Mega Man runners and players, you may recognize this boss. He's going to look very familiar to you.
Possibly even symbols on his forehead may look familiar. So the back row for Ryu, obviously it doesn't change anything about dragon damage here.
Nope.
Defensively, do you have back row status when they're attacking you, or is he just all row? Basically?
I believe it is back row defense status. It's wherever Ryu is, but I haven't actually played with it that much because for the most part, in the normal speed run, we just stick Ryu in the back row and Dragon because it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, theoretically, it's saving you time and heals by being in the back row.
Yeah. I mean, all the other dragons, it matters. I don't know if it matters on Engi because we don't heal. The only two bosses we actually heal with Engi is Jade and Tyr. So at that point, it just doesn't matter.
And we're getting word that Sombrero will be happening later, so more incentive for people to stick around for the marathon. Do you have a sombrero?
I do not.
Neither do I.
Do you have a blindfold? Can we do one of these fights blindfolded?
Sure. I'll just take my glasses off.
Okay, I'll
Isn't there
accept
an
that.
auto fight mechanic going on right now?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've been watching the run, right? Most of these are auto fights.
The entire run is a giant auto. Like,
He can look away, stretch.
this boss fight is usually one where I take a bathroom break in the main run because this is about 5 hours in, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I've got 6 attacks before I have to come back and hit a button, and then I've got another 6 attacks before he dies. And normally I'd be counting, but the boss is just gonna die at this point. We will be counting on Jade and Tyr because of healing purposes. We do have to kind of keep track of where we are in the count so that we don't just die, unfortunately. And there's some HP thresholds that we use to kind of stay safe.
And this guy's got second wind.
But that's Yoda. And blue level's up there.
Right.
Oh, he left an herb. Oh, we're losing frames.
How rude.
Of course, he leaves the weakest healing item. Whatever.
Still valuable this late in the game.
All 4 of these D-pads go the same way. They go a different direction, but they all go to the same spot. How that mathematically works and physics, you know what?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, so we are in the final room of this run that we actually care about. And we just walk. Again, no encounters, nothing scary here, just hit the marks, hit your inventory counts, and
I guess you could say they really put their heart into this game.
they did.
That one's for you, DeeJ.
I'll give you that one. There's not even a maze, there's not even a challenge here. You just walk around, follow the path. Like, I want to say they got lazy at the end. I don't know. this dungeon, after the spinny maze of doom, the tower floors in spring, and all of the other stuff they put in here, this dungeon just feels kind of meh. It's like, what do we do for the final dungeon? Let's just have them walk around in a circle.
Giving you a break, I guess. They figure you earned it.
No, because the enemies in here are awful, which is why we don't fight them.
Well, unless you learned what you were supposed to learn and buy the Marble 3s, because you'd have all the money to buy them with.
Yeah, so for reference, in the Game Boy Advanced version, we used somewhere around 500 Marble 3s to beat the game. Or no, I think that's the SNES. On the Game Boy, I think it's like 400. We used a ton of them. Alright, the floor turns red. Guess what that means? Hi Jade, how you doing? He's going to offer us an opportunity to join him. If we wanted a level or two or to fight something, we could, but I'm not in the mood to join the evil... whatever that is.
Yeah, so fun fact, if you say yes, Jada, like, what, you having any regrets about joining me? You just say no. And it's this loop thing, and I think it's something like 60 times in a row you have to say, like, no, you don't have any regrets about joining. Yes, I really want to be on your side. And then Jade will say, I'm bored, fight this.
Pretty much. We want to see that little rock attack as much as possible. Shock actually doesn't scare us now. The one thing we don't want to see is lightning. Blizzard's annoying, but lightning does 400 damage, and that makes us stop. And I forgot to count, so I think this is 3. Jade has 22 hits in the first phase, and then 4 in the second phase. So, it's a bit of a long fight. If you didn't have the healing, this would also be another good, I have to run to the bathroom break right before the end of the game. But 2 lightnings and you're dead. So, gotta keep an eye on that. And here's 1, so we're gonna have to drop out of the auto battle right here.
Yeah, it's a big hit. It will let you cancel out the auto battle, as he was implying there, so then he's able to go to his inventory and use one of these heals.
Yep, and that's why we've got him. Yeah, double lightning is the one thing that scares us. Other than that, we can pretty much roll through this. My worst fight with him, he cast 5 lightning bolts, and it was awful. We normally only bring in 6 healing items, and so I barely walked out of the final fight with my life.
I'm not sure canonically, if this is supposed to be Jade's natural powered-up form, or if this is something that Jade was turned into by Tyr.
I don't actually know either. I don't know that I actually...
Jade, by the way, double-crossed Zog, if we didn't get into that.
Yeah.
Recently enough, and was...
He used us to kill Zog to take over Zog's plan, so he could be all-powerful.
Yeah. Basically, Zog wanted to rule the world. Jade wanted Tyr's power. Question in chat: did Jade turn into a hurt mosquito with a row on it? Sure, why not?
Whatever you want to think that is, I'm totally game.
Yeah, it's not sure it is that.
So, question on the GBA version faster than the Super NES version. There's two main reasons. One, we have auto run speed, which turns out they coded into this game and then just deactivated.
I'm not mad at somebody who I don't even know.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the Game Boy Advanced version also has an infinite money glitch that does not exist in the Super NES. So we can bypass having to farm the 65,000 gold for the... I probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, that's good. Shock. I should have probably healed there.
I was wondering about that.
I let that get a little low. I'm not super concerned. That was a good shock. Lightning won't kill me, but it'll definitely make me scared. Okay.
If you heal, then basically you can auto out, right?
Yeah, I'll auto out the rest of this. But yeah, so the infinite money glitch and the run speed just make the game faster. Ironically, Breath of Fire 2 on the Game Boy Advanced has the run speed. Doesn't necessarily have the same glitches that the SNES has. There's no money glitch, and there's no duplicate weapon glitch or moondrop glitch that they've got. But the text speed is so much slower that it counters the run speed.
So GG on the Jade fight.
Thank you. That fight's usually annoying. So he explodes. We don't know why. There is the Emperor's Sword behind the chair there. Again, really don't care. And now for Tyr.
Also, Jade gives some dying dialogue that basically says, well, I knew I was always destined to lose.
Yeah. We're going to take the opportunity here to heal Ryu up. Normally we don't have that problem with the mana, but we do have to cast Angie twice in a row and we don't get a refill.
Hey, Chad, if you sub right now, Nora will make a wish.
You know?
You gotta get it in fast.
No, I do not want to wish. You can ask for a wish. She will give you a full heal. If you say no, you start the battle. Normally you start the battle and do your restoration here, but that's slow. And the reason why you do that in the normal speedrun is you don't have enough to double cast Angie. You just have enough to cast Angie once. You have like 90 AP. So you have to throw that acorn right here to pump your AP up enough to start the next round in Dragon. One hit, she gets angry.
And we're about to fight a crying woman.
Yeah.
Incidentally, you can fight Tyr all the way in that form if you never use the dragon, and you will win getting what is considered the bad ending.
So yeah, that's not a crying woman. Okay, we're good, I guess.
Yeah, she's not so nice and innocent. Now, Tyr does an interesting thing here. You have to hit her twice, and then the rest of your attacks are in that bonus HP phase. So you really have no clue how many hits, except for we know it's 30.
Is that more than 2?
Well, we have to count, so...
Well, I don't do math while live on Twitch. It always betrays you.
It usually does. Alright. So here we go. We are in the final stretch here. We'll auto battle. We'll kind of keep an eye on our HP. I'm just going to set my controller down for most of this. We want to auto battle until we're about 300 to 150 HP. Then we'll cure. So that was one.
I will say the character models in this game are great.
They are fantastic. Capcom does amazing work. Love their stuff.
We'll also say if you want to see more of Nora, he likes to hang around in various stuff. He did some Z1 crowd control as part of SGLIVE earlier this week.
It's 5. by the way.
I hope that's going to make it to YouTube because it's very entertaining.
Oh, it was so much fun.
So yeah, be sure to check Nora out. He's worked on the speed runs of this game a bit. Not so much lately, but you've done a lot of work on that in the past.
Yeah, looking to do some more. And give my commentator Trenton a follow. He doesn't run this game. He hasn't run this game, but he's hung out with me enough and does all sorts of stuff. You saw him earlier in the marathon. If you didn't see it, it was really early this morning. He did some Final Fantasy 1 for us. Fantastic run. Heard he even got a PB in it.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird depending on how you want to categorize things in terms of solo characters. It was roughly the 4th fastest run that's ever happened. As far as the Black Mage solo character, it's the fastest run that's ever happened.
Nice. So I want to say we're on 10 here. I lost count because I was talking and not counting. I want to say we're close to 10 to 11. Not a big deal that we lost count because basically we can't lose this fight now. We just have to heal one more time and then we'll auto battle out. We may have to heal twice, depending on attack damage. We want the little green orb tags.
Also, you keep forgetting, I tell you, don't speed run this game, but I've played this game casually about 8 times. I enjoyed it.
I was going to say that. You played it. I don't know why those alerts are still going off, and I muted them. So, yeah, marathon luck, right? Okay, we're at 249 HP. We do have to stop and heal here. Keeping an eye on that.
And you bought some extras for safety here, right?
I did. We're not going to need them because Jade was nice.
Yeah.
Jade can be very cruel. Alright, so that should be the last menu input that I have to do outside of the closing of the game. We have like one text box to
If
clear.
we're there yet, my answer is don't make me pull this marathon over.
Alright. Time does come up when the big bad goddess, and yes, it's a JRPG, so we're killing a god or goddess. We're achieving our bingo card. But time does end when the goddess makes the bright white flash of light and dies. And then we'll let the credits roll out. I'm sure we're a little over time, but
That would have been super impressive if you had timed that right.
I know I should have done that. But that requires counting, and let's be honest, I've never been good at counting. I play Z1R.
Counts more like 1, 2, and, well, this is a PG stream.
Exactly. We may need one more cure, I'm not sure. She should be pretty close to dead. And there it is, time.
GG.
So,
GG's,
yes,
chat.
yes, the final
GG.
boss gives us 10 experience. Why not? She goes up in a ball of fire.
Level.
She goes up into a ball of fire to be seen again in Breath of Fire 3. We'll see parts of her in Breath of Fire 2, but none of that really matters. So yeah, I'm going to let the credits roll again. Thank you, Trenton, for hopping in here with me. I want to thank SpeedGaming for hosting this, for having us here. Definitely want to thank Troy for hosting. Shout out to Adirondack Rick and Feasel for putting all the stuff on, and all the SpeedGaming crew. They do a fantastic job with the marathons, supporting all the communities for speedrunning and randomizers. If you're not following them, follow them. Like, seriously, follow them. All the channels. Like, they're up to 6 now? Something like that?
They've got 5 main ones and then 3 language ones.
Well,
Yeah. But
Yeah,
so...
5 main ones, and then there's the 3 languages: French, Spanish, and German, I believe.
So our sister
again,
comes...
when you're trying to do math, it betrays you.
It does. So our sister shows up and says goodbye to us. And then our heroes go off to fix the towns and rebuild from the world and all the destruction that was caused.
As you do.
Yeah, as you should. So again, this is Breath of Fire DeeJ%. If you are interested in learning more about this, we do have a Breath of Fire Discord. I don't have the link in it. I'm actually not in that Discord right now because I have too many Discords. But it's a fantastic game. The whole series is fantastic. We do... We try to put on a yearly Breath of Fire relay where we play 1 through 5, and we have people who do it in one sitting. It's a fantastic series with fantastic community.
Then you have Genya, who's a whole relay team by himself. That's just insane.
It is. But yeah, so we'll let the credits roll, and then we will turn it over to our host to close out and send us over to the next game when they're ready.
I'll say, Chad, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Hope you had as much fun as we did. Thank you, Nora, for having me. And good night, everybody.
Thank you, Trenton.
Yeah, thank you, Trenton and Noraystra, for this wonderful run. I actually had a lot of fun watching this and learning about Breath of Fire. So thank you. And we'll be moving on to Resident Evil 7, being played by Marforia.